Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let us continue with Surah An-Nisaa bihawlillahi wa quwwatih. We are on ayah number 144. قال الله تبارك وتعالى يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين أتريدون أن تجعلوا لله عليكم سلطانا مبينا. So we have the famous call in this ayah, which means the next instruction which follows is going to test your iman. He says, do not take the kafirin as awliya, as helpers and allies, instead of the believers. He asks the question, do you wish to give Allah a sultanan mubinan, a clear evidence or hujjah or argument against you? So that is to say, you will be giving Allah Jalla wa Ala an argument to prove that you are a hypocrite and justification to punish you. So reflecting on this ayah, we can take the obvious lesson that it is haram to take the kuffar as your allies and close friends, because this is a trademark of the munafiqeen, as we have discussed before. We also learn that if you were to infringe this rule, you would be giving Allah Jalla wa Ala the perfect justification to punish you. We also learn that being allies with the believers and being allies with the kuffar are not compatible. You need to make a choice. It's this or that. It should be worth pointing out that this ayah does not state that you are to treat the kuffar badly or mistreat them. Rather, you treat them well. But as for taking them as allies and close friends, then this is not to be done. So there is a difference between being friendly and being friends. Ayah number 145. Inna al-munafiqina fi ad-darki al-asfali min an-nari walan tajida lahum nasiran. He says, indeed, the munafiqeen, the hypocrites, and we have spoken about this word munafiq before, will be in the dark. Dark means the lower levels. Daraja means the higher levels. Al-asfal, the lowest level of the fire. That is the fire of Jahannam. And you, O Prophet, will not find for them any helper. Nasir is helper. Now some Mufassirin have said that Jahannam has 7 layers, and they've even given names for these layers. Allah knows best, but let's make mention of what has been said regarding this matter. So the first layer of the fire of hell will be, they say, for the Muslimin, who will be punished. So this is the shallower end. They say this is called Jahannam. The second level, and this is going downwards, they say it's for the Christians. That level is called Lava. Then the third level for the Jews is called Al-Hutama. And the fourth level for the Sabi'in is called As-Sa'ir. Then the fifth level for the Majus, called Saqar. Then the sixth level for the Ahlul Shirk, called Jahim. And then the last and bottom level, the 7th level, for the munafiqeen, called Al-Hawiyah. And Allah Jalla wa Ala knows best about the accuracy of this information. Anyway, reflecting on this ayah, we take that Jahannam is not just one level. There are levels. And this makes sense because kuffar are not one and the same in terms of their kufr, in terms of their evil, and in terms of their rebellion against Allah Jalla wa Ala. But we also find that the worst of the people are the munafiqeen, and they will have the bottommost layer, which will be the worst of punishments. Now, just because the munafiqeen are in the lowest depths of Jahannam, doesn't mean that they are the only ones in that level, that no one else will join them. The answer is no, there could be others who are also in the lowest depths as well. We also take the vital lesson that we need to take care not to resemble any aspects of the munafiqeen, because we clearly find from this ayah that the munafiqeen are from the worst of the kuffar. So why would any Muslim even want to resemble any aspects of the worst of the kuffar? 146. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ تَابُوا وَأَصْلَحُوا وَاعْتَصَمُوا بِاللَّهِ وَأَخْلَصُوا دِينَهُمْ لله فأولئك مع المؤمنين وسوف يؤتي الله المؤمنين أجرا عظيما. Talking about the munafiqeen who will be in the lowest depths of Jahannam, he gives an exception. He says, except those who repent, so that they repent from their nifaq and they embrace Islam fully. Wa aslahu, this is the second thing which it mentions. Aslahu, to rectify or to make a right. So they rectify their intentions and their actions. Wa'tasamu billahi, i'tisam billah means to adhere to Allah. That is to say, to adhere to His deen and His rules and regulations and the correct beliefs which He has legislated. The next he mentions, وَأَخْلَصُوا دِينَهُمْ لِلَّهِ. They make their deen sincere to Allah Jalla wa'ala. That is to say, they worship Allah for His sake, not to show off. He says, then such people will be with the believers, and Allah will give the believers a great reward. This is in this life, certainly, but also, and more importantly, in the hereafter. So reflecting on this ayah, we take the clear-cut lesson that the doors of Tawbah are opened for the munafiqeen. And as long as they adhere to the 4 instructions laid out in this ayah, which is Tawbah, and Islah, and I'tisam billah, wal Ikhlas lillah, then such people are to be treated as mu'mineen, and they are entitled to the same great reward. We learn from this ayah something about Tawbah. Tawbah is to reverse the wrong that you have done. This is why the ayah goes into some detail as to what the munafiqeen needs to do. The munafiqeen needs to reverse a few matters, and the 4 which are laid out, of course, in the ayah. So this is what Tawbah is, when you reverse the evils or the corruption that you have committed. It's all about reversing and rectifying and making things aright. Now some ulama said that the Tawbah of the munafiq is not to be accepted because you simply do not know if they are sincere or not. Because the whole point about the munafiq is that you do not know what their intentions are. It's not like a clear-cut kafir. However, this ayah is clear that the tawbah of the munafiq is definitely to be accepted. However, we can observe such a person a bit more closely than others to see if such a person is sincere in their tawbah. So we can pay a bit more attention to the state of affairs of such a person. So based on this, if a person was calling to bid'ah, his tawbah would be accepted, but now he needs to rectify the affair and call to the sunnah and renounce the bid'ah that he was calling to. From this ayah we also take the importance of these 4 matters: tawbah, islah, i'tisam and ikhlas. And we also learn that Allah Jalla wa'ala has promised the believers a great reward. So this is the type of reward that we cannot really imagine. 147. Ma yaf'alu Allahu bi'adhabikum in shakartum wa amantum wa kana Allahu shakiran aliman. He asks the question, what would Allah do by punishing you? Meaning to say, why would He ever want to punish you? In shakartum, if you are thankful, wa amantum, and you believe. And Allah was always the shakiran aliman, the all appreciative, meaning He appreciates your thanks, and aliman meaning the all knowing. Okay, so we ask ourselves, what is a shukr? Because as for iman, we have dealt with that word already. So shukr is to show your appreciation to the blessings given to you by Allah Jalla wa'ala, and to show this via your tongue, your limb and your heart. Because acts of ibadah can be done on the tongue, on the limbs and in the heart. And the way you show your appreciation on the tongue and the limbs and the heart is by obeying Allah Jalla wa'ala in the manner which He has prescribed. So the whole deen of Islam is simply an expression of thanks to Allah Jalla wa'ala. It tells us how to give thanks. So when you pray your 5 times prayers, that is giving thanks to Allah Jalla wa'ala. Every time you would make a dhikr of Allah Jalla wa'ala, that is giving thanks to Allah. Reflecting on this ayah, we take the obvious lesson that the way to escape the punishment of Allah Jalla wa'ala is to have iman and shukr. We also learn that Allah Jalla wa'ala does not have any advantage in punishing us. If He does punish somebody, it is only out of justice, not because Allah is hoping for some kind of benefit in punishing people. We learn of the fadila of shukr and the fadila of iman. Even though your shukr is part of your iman, in fact all righteous actions are part of iman, no doubt. But shukr gets a particular specific mention because of its noble nature. And the opposite of shukr is kufr. This is why the kuffar are punished, because they do not give thanks for all the blessings of Allah Jalla wa Ala that they enjoy every day and night. And we also pick up on the two names of Allah Jalla wa Ala, Shakiran, Aliman. Shakir here means the one who accepts your thanks. Or you could say that Allah thanks those who thank Him. So in that sense, Allah Jalla wa Ala is thankful, and that this is one of His names. هذا والله أعلم.